The power of the Spirit was now resting on Creator Sets Free, Jesus. So he returned to the territory of Circle of Nations, Galilee. News about him began to spread like wildfire throughout the villages, for he was teaching in their gathering houses, and the people gave him much honor. And on one of these days of resting, Creator Sets Free, Jesus, returned to his boyhood home in Seed Planter Village, Nazareth. As was his tradition, he entered the gathering house and stood up to read from the ancient sacred teachings. The headman handed him the scroll with the words from the prophet, Creator will help us, whom we call Isaiah. He opened the scroll and began to read. He spoke with deep respect in his voice as he held the scroll in a sacred manner. His words were strong and clear, and his eyes were bright and full of life as he read. The Spirit of Creator has come to rest on me. He has chosen me to tell the good story to the ones who are poor. He has sent me to mend broken hearts, to tell prisoners they have been set free, to make the blind see again, and to lift up the ones who have been pushed down, to make it known that Creator's year of setting free has finally come at last. He rolled up the scroll, returned it to the headman, and sat down. All eyes were fixed on him, wondering what he would say next. He looked around at them and spoke clearly with a strong voice. Today, these words you have heard have found their fullest meaning. Then he began to teach and share his wisdom with them. The Gospel of Luke, chapter 4, verses 14 to 21, from the First Nations version of the New Testament.
Oh, Faith family, we are in divisive times, and there is no indication that they are going to become less divisive anytime soon. I'm sorry that many of you have lived to see such days, but this is the course planned out for you, and this is the world you currently inhabit. So embrace it, see it for what it is. We have divisions within our country, we have divisions within politics, we have divisions which probably are most painful within families. We are tired, we are fed up, we are frustrated, we are scared, we are cold, it is winter, we are in a very discontent and discontenting situation. And I want to begin by honoring that and acknowledging that, and as your pastor, always reminding you, not from a spirit of guilt, not from a spirit of finger wagging, and not from a spirit of shame, but to always remind you, in seasons of famine, in seasons of feast, in seasons of spring, and seasons of winter, we always know where we are going and what it is that we can do. I call on you to remember your faith, that the one and only thing you must remember is that, as the scriptures told us, you are a child of God. You are here for purpose and for a seasons. You are here for a while, and then you are gone. And that is the story of every human being from beginning to now and onward and onward. In the meantime, there will be fluctuations, there will be great times, there will be celebrations, there will be growing families, there will be divisions in families, there will be fear and all sorts of stuff. And we have seen it on the news. So again, I want to counsel you, never, ever forget in the season of the technology that has given us so much and has taken so much, please keep our heads. Never forget that fear and division are very, arguably, the most profitable things out there. There are people making money, making things sound worse than they are. That has always been the case. It is very important to unify people through fear of a common enemy that is just beyond reach, but you know it well enough, so never forget that. And that is never supposed to be the spirit of those who follow the Creator, because this is how it's always been. We are reading ancient teachings, and in this story, Jesus was reading at his time what were considered ancient teachings, and they're talking about the same stuff. forever online, Mary Lamb will have interrupted a really good sermon. I've completely forgotten now. Church is canceled. Hi, Sharon. Thanks for calling during the message. Make sure she sees this. I know you're not on the computer normally, but I think it's worth it for this. So, also as your pastor, I would always be remiss not only to remind you of who you are, to hopefully give you comfort, but to remind that who you are also necessitates what you do. And we are a very blessed, weirdly blessed country church, financially, stability-wise, connection. I never have to worry about people returning to the service, or if they do, it's because of medical reasons or emergencies or whatever. And I don't think you understand how absolutely rare that is, that we have balanced books. There's always issues. And we have genuine community. We have people that look out for each other, that check up on each other, that take care of each other in practical ways and social ways. There is genuine family here. There is genuine lifelong friendships here. Those are all incredible blessings that not every church gets. And that's why when we sort of look at numbers, I'm like, oh my goodness, who cares? That's not who cares, but that's like the lowest. Like, let's look at what we are and celebrate that. But we're coming into Lent. In a few weeks will be Lent. Traditionally, we have a Lenten project. And because of the cold, because of the division, because of the, in our lifetime, unprecedented events, there's a lot of social catastrophes taking place right outside our doorstep. The city of Hamilton is in a housing crisis. Many people, and I talked to you about this during Lent, or during Advent, and then of course we had to shut down. There are numerous families. It has been increasingly volatile between authorities and people, and I've been thankfully being able to walk Thursday mornings with a good friend of mine through downtown Hamilton, and the situation is real. It is dire. It is desperate. People are freezing, people and families. A lot of children, thankfully, are being shuffled off to grandparents or family friends or whatnot, as people who've been on the margins are pushed over the edge. There are villages propping up. There is clothing that needs to happen. There are ways in which we can help. So I'm going to put forward, we talked to the deacons, our Lenten project, but I would say beyond, and starting now, is there's a group called the Hamilton Emergency Response Network. I got that acronym wrong. Anyway, I'll get the information. It'll be in the email later today or whatnot. Why can't I think of my brain? It's on my phone. See, this is what happens. You're right about the technology. It's on my phone, and now brain's like, it's right there. But I'm using my phone to record this. So we're in a conundrum. It'll be out there later. This is a group of Hamilton people that saw the need and just formed their group. They are bringing clothes, supplies, tents, sleeping bags, warmth to these groups as they're moving around, as they're being pushed out, as they're looking for shelter to try to survive very, very cold nights. Brothers, sisters, faith family, this is not something we could sit on. This is not something we need to go to committee. People are freezing. So, any coats, any sleeping bags, any blankets, you are wonderful because I know your stuff is clean, and sometimes cleanliness also makes it really bad. Any winter boots, anything you're not using. We cleared out our closet. I don't say that as a woo. I say that as this is legit. Anything you don't have, give to me. I will drive it into Hamilton and give it to the proper people. People that I know that are running this, organizing this, and finding where people are popping up. Because it's not one location. They're having to move because usually when they set up someplace, police, bylaw officers, or whatever come in and break up the camps and shove them out and stuff. This is not a situation that's ideal for people in the camps. It's not a situation that's ideal for the city, but it is a situation that is. So in these days, these physically cold days of increasing division, we can actually very simply bring some light and some joy, which is our Christian identity. That's it. Above all this sorts of stuff, our most important thing is when we see people in need, we honor them and we help them and we do whatever we can because we believe in our heart that just like we are children of God, so too are they. The circumstances of how life is going out is changed. That's it. We have that wonderful saying, but by the grace of God go I. And we don't use that to dismiss, but take a second and recognize the truth in the statement. All your life choices, all this sort of stuff, they're not just connected to good choices that we made. It's not our place to sit back and be like, oh, well, so-and-so's whatever. We don't know people's story. We can never know people's story. Spoiler alert, some people will be lying. Some people will be tricking. Some people won't use it for things that we think they should use it for. That's not the point. We don't know their backstory. We don't know what they've had to go through. We don't know how scared they are, so therefore they lie and have to do things just to keep themselves in a place of possibly surviving. But the wonderful thing is, again, ancient teachings remind us, just be kind and gracious. Do not judge, for you do not know. And here's who you are. You are a child of the Creator, and here's who they are. Your society, your world, your own internal dialogue will sometimes dismiss them as less than or problematic or criminal or what. Look to the one whom you claim to follow, see how he treated such people, and follow in his footsteps. And the glory and the good news is Creator sets free. Jesus did all that to set you free. I have come to set people free. And not just spiritually, but those who are poor, those who are hungry. This is what it is we do. And never forget that our Messiah says, how did you treat the least of these? If they are the least in your society, how you treat them reflects how you treat me. And so, as followers of Mountsburg and Westover, again, this is just a wonderful, easy way to bring light into what I think we can all agree is fairly dark times. And they are going to stay dark for a while, most likely. So let us find hope, purpose, and meaning by bringing light to those whom we don't know, and in very practical, easy ways. So when you go home today, here's your Mountsburg Westover homework that I'm happy to be a part of. Find as many warm clothes, blankets, tents, anything like that, and give them to me. I will make sure they get to the right people. I will let them know, and we can keep on doing this. We can donate if we want to use money, but we can also use physical stuff to get to people who need warm clothes. I mean, my goodness. I was there 2 Thursdays ago, and I saw a guy walking. He was missing a shoe. And remember that was the day it was 22 below. And he was walking around in just a sock. And unfortunately, when I saw him later on that day, he found a boot, but he'd lost his boot for a while. So there's a lot going on down there, and we are proud country churches, and sometimes because one of the beauties of this, I remember talking to you about this years ago, it's a wonderful place to raise a family. It's a wonderful place to grow. There's a lot of situations and problems that are not on our doorstep because of it. We know we have people that suffer. But one of the beauty things is country churches, and as much as we're not thrilled with the municipality and the government structures, we are connected to Hamilton. But it is that municipality and those government structures that have helped create this problem. I'm not looking at you, Audrey. I was looking at the camera, sorry. Audrey! The city of Hamilton created this problem, and the city of Hamilton is making this problem worse. And we, as members of this city and as the country, we can actually help out. We can do more. Governments are just that, full of people. They make mistakes. They are trying to capture a whole bunch of stuff in equally unprecedented times. They're trying to make a bunch of people happy and safe and whatnot. But let's never overlook the ones that are usually overlooked. And we should not be counting on the city of Hamilton to do something as followers of Christ we can easily do. Bring warm clothes, shelter, hope, and attention to those who don't have it currently. So let me know. I mean, you can email me, but Virginia's right. I'm not great with the Gmail because I have so many emails. Technology, you're right about that, Stella. Text, call, drop it off, throw it into a garbage bag, just drop it on the doorstep of the manse, and I will get it too, because I go into Hamilton enough, and I will keep going in and making sure the right people get it to make sure that the right people get it. For those of you who live in Burlington, just give me a call. I'll be in Burlington this afternoon. This is something I think is really important and something we can do in winter. Okay, so let's reflect on that as we do our communion service. Because somehow this just turned into a bit of a catch thing, but I'll end it now. Amen, amen, and amen.